Hello, friends, fellow glam rock lovers. Even if you don't recognize that song, you should at least be able to identify the songwriter from the chord structure, in my humble estimation. So get your pencils out. I know 90% of you know it, but the other 10%, you may not know the song, but whose chords are those? The artist in question probably wrote most of their songs on piano, to be honest. But the chord structure was always there. He was no stranger to cool chord changes. Let's just put it that way. Probably even a little more adventurous than John Lennon with his chord changes, I would say. We'll get back to that later. Anyway, how's everybody doing? A early morning episode with Uncle Larry. Is he on the spectrum? No one knows. He sure is a natural ham from Cleveland land. What's he on? No one knows. High on life, I say. That's Larry. He comes from far away. In a land where everything is cold and everything is all about the dog pound. He's a Cleveland man. He's a Cleveland man. His name is Larry. He went to East Lake North and graduated in 1987. He's on the notable alumni list. His name is Larry, and he comes from Cleveland land. Hi, friends. Sorry about that little diversion there. I went into full Arlo Guthrie land there for a minute. Hope everybody's doing great out there this morning. It's getting cold out there. Notice the regalia. It's snowing out there. I thought, remember my talking about spring the other day? Well, fuck that. It's freezing out there. We've had a massive cold shift. And it got real bitter cold out there. It doesn't stop my dear 13-year-old from riding around on his mini bike with no coat on all day yesterday. I just said to him, son, it's 35 degrees. What are you doing? It's not even cold, Dad. It's like he's trying to get sick. That's what they do, these kids. They know if they get sick, they don't have to go to school. So they just try. Surprised he doesn't dunk his head in water before he does it. But, we all know that's a myth anyway. Being cold doesn't get you sick. That's just stuff your mother told you. Google it. Man, I watched a movie over the last 3 days that blew my mind. I know you guys have all already seen it, but I haven't seen it. I'd never watched it. The Irishman, Scorsese. Jesus, man. Why didn't anybody tell me how fucking amazing that movie is? Oh, dude, I was transfixed by it. Incredible. I watched it over 3 days because it's like 3.5 hours long. But God, man, what a killer movie. It's a who's who of amazing actors. And it's all about the guy who supposedly killed Jimmy Hoffa. And man, if you have not seen The Irishman, for fuck's sake, stop this video and go watch it right now. It's incredible. One of the best movies I've ever seen. Why don't you people rave to me about this stuff? What's wrong with you people? How come I'm the only guy on earth that hasn't seen that? But yeah, that's great. And also, you should have seen me out this morning. It's pitiful. You know, I cry at everything. Because I'm just, ever since having kids, I'm like the most sentimental guy that ever lived. Not about this guitar. If anybody wants this guitar, I'm going to let go of it. You heard how good it sounds. 64, Epiphone Frontier. It's incredible. It's great. It plays great. Great neck. Sounds amazing. I just don't need it. I've got 2 guitars that do this very similar thing. I don't like to have redundancies. And these are rare. Epiphone Frontiers are rare. You just don't see them. They're even rarer than Texans, and I think they're cooler, to be honest. But yeah, if anybody wants, just let me know. 10K, original case, no excuses, no bullshit. It can be yours, and I promise you will love it. I think I'm gonna let this tele go too. It's amazing. It's not microphonic anymore, but I'm gonna launch it. I'm gonna launch it to pay for the full house generator that I just purchased 2 days ago. I'm a man of my word. I told you I was gonna do that. I fucking did it. I am not gonna sit through another fucking ice storm with no power. And I'm not doing that ever again. I don't care if it is a thing that happens every 20 years. The next time it happens, 20 years from now, if the Lord hasn't taken me yet, I will be there with my Generac warm, covered with a blanket, watching DVDs. That's what I'll be doing. It was great over the ice storm. When we did lose power, my dear sons rediscovered the joy of a DVD player. They don't give a shit about shit like that. They stream everything. But boy, when the streaming was dead and they wanted to watch some movies, they were like, "Tell us about these DVDs, Dad." And I was like, "Well, son, here's how we used to do it back in the day." And they were loving it. We laid around watching all kind of movies because I've got a pretty awesome DVD collection, friends. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never did get rid of them. I must have known this ice storm was coming. I thought about it, getting rid of them. You probably did too, but don't. It was nice to have them. You know, Jacob's Ladder. You know, fucking Stir of Echoes, White Heat. I got all that shit. We watched Mothman Prophecies. That's a good one. Remember that one? Richard Gere. That's a good one. Anyway, yeah, they loved the DVDs, and the DVDs are amazing. They look amazing, and they sound. The Blu-ray thing was cool, man. It's amazing. I always thought that DVDs and CDs being pushed aside was a crime of mankind, because both of those formats are amazing. CDs are fucking amazing. They sound amazing, and they're easy to deal with. I'm a big fan of CDs. I wish that cars still had CD players. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Everything is now everybody wants everything where they don't have to own it. So there's no physical copies of anything anymore, which will come and bite you on the ass in an ice storm, friends. You're gonna wish you had those physical copies of things. But yeah, the kids were loving the DVDs. I don't know why I got on that rant, but it was cool. It was cool to see that old technology being useful again. I still have 3 or 4 DVD players. I kept them. I knew. I must have known. But, yeah, I mean, when you get stripped of all your gadgetry and all your cool modern stuff, and you're standing there with nothing, you start thinking, boy, why did we stop using all these physical copies of everything? That's interesting. Thanks for all the sweet comments about my chopper Gretsch video yesterday. That's going to be a fun guitar once we clean all the mold off it. It's going to be great. And I've made the joke about when it's done, it'll have no sustain like every other Gretsch. And so people were like, yeah, it's so true. It is true. I don't know. I think there's a thing at the Gretsch factory that they have some sort of test device that if a guitar that they build has too much sustain, they have to go in and loosen stuff to make sure that it doesn't sustain for more than a certain amount of time, or it can't be a Gretsch. They keep strict guidelines about that. The note has to disappear as fast as you play it, or it's not a Gretsch. And everyone's like, why is it that Gretches just don't sustain? They never did. They never will. I don't know. I've owned hundreds of old Gretches, literally hundreds of them, 50s, 60s. I don't deal with the 70s because the 70s are grotesque. The Baldwin era, I cannot hang with the Baldwin era Gretsch. It's just horrifying what they did to those guitars. It's way worse than the Norland thing. Way, way, way worse. It's just these hideous designs that should have never, ever been fraught upon the world. Is that a word? No, that's not really the right usage of it, but I liked it. It was cool. They just, that's like I was saying, some guy was saying, well, how can I get my Gretsch to sustain? Well, you don't want your Gretsch to sustain. That's the whole point of those things. They make you play a certain way. I said to the guy, it's like a mellotron of guitars. You know how on a mellotron, the note will only ring for a certain amount of time, and then it dies. You have to play it a certain way. That's what makes a Gretsch cool. You got to, like Brian Setzer, he plays leads on a Gretsch, but his leads are never like, he's not going to bend a note and try to get it to hang and soar. He knows it's never going to happen. So his leads are all like, choppy, kind of chordal, and it's great. What he does is amazing. He knows how to play a Gretsch. But man, I'll tell you what, you want to try to get some David Gilmour shit going on a Gretsch, it ain't going to happen. It is not going to happen, friends. I'm sorry. You'll be standing at the front of the stage looking for some feedback and sustain. You ain't going to get it. That guitar is not your friend at that moment. But if you know how to play a Gretsch and you use it for parts and you use it for, rhythm, and cool little arpeggios, that's what it's for. It's great. And they have a sound. All I ask for is that a guitar has a sound. Everyone's like, do you like this? Do you like that? Does it have a sound? I mean, if a guitar has a unique voice, I don't care about the rest of it. I can do something with it. But if it doesn't have a sound, if it sounds anonymous, I don't want it. It's bullshit. But Gretches are great, and I love them, and I talk shit on them. My old saying, Gretsch, everyone's a prototype, which is absolutely true. They never made the same guitar twice. They couldn't. The workmanship was so questionable at best. But they're kitschy, quirky, and they're awesome. I love Gretches. I love them. That 6120 that dear Vince Gill gifted me a while back is one of my favorite guitars. I love it. But you have to play it a certain way. You're not going to, you can't do a lot of things on that. It's not going to happen. But that's all right. I don't need to do everything on it. If I want a big Gilmour sustain, I'm going to play something else. And you should too. Don't worry about trying to make your Gretsch sustain. It's not of nature. You're going against nature when you try to do something like that. You see, don't ever go against nature, friends. You're not going to win. You're just not going to win. What are we doing today? I'm off to do 2 sessions. I got sessions today and tomorrow for sweet Blake Shelton, one of my dear old friends. I love him. He is such a funny, you guys have heard me say before. He's a very funny guy. I laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. Everything he says is hilarious. He's really, really quick-witted, funny guy. I'm looking forward to that. I was going to say earlier about crying. God, You know that song Drops of Jupiter by Train? I mean, I think I've mentioned this to you guys before. The second that comes on, I start crying. That song, you know, when you know the story about what that's written about, it's pretty amazing. You know, I'm not gonna ruin it, but do a little Googling, and when you check and see what that song's written about, it's amazing. That lyric and that song. I remember I think I told you guys I remember driving to work when that song came out in like 2002. I was driving to a session in my old Chevy cargo van, and when that song came on the radio, I had no idea what it was, and I pulled the car over and listened to it. It blew me away. I remember being completely affected by it the first time I heard it. And I don't know. I don't think I know one other Train song, but that shit is incredible, and everything about that song is unbelievable. It's not of this earth. It is a gift from a higher place, friends. Every once in a while that happens, and we're lucky to be a part of it in any way. And I think people anytime anybody ever gets involved, like Brendan O'Brien mixed that, and I bet he would say, you know, when something like that happens, a natural gift comes to us like that. When someone creates a piece of art, or a group of people create a piece of art of that magnitude, everyone just stands in awe of it. Like you can't claim creating that. It just happened, and you can't repeat it. Everyone wants to repeat it. They write something like that. They put out a record like that. You've seen it. Some of these people in rock and roll or whatever, they create something that incredible, and everybody knows it's incredible. But then when it comes time to repeat it, they can't, because it was a gift. And there's a lot of things in life like that, friends. Very few people could ever recreate that gift over and over and over, and most humans can't, because it's not something you can generate. The universe did you a favor by letting you create that. And if you're wondering what that first chord is in that David Bowie song, I always thought it was this. Tell me this doesn't sound like it. I think that's it. If you listen to that record, the very first thing you hear, play a B flat dominant 7, but leave everything open, the G string and the E's. I'm just going from memory here. I haven't heard it in a million years. I might be wrong, but that's just my childhood memory of it. I think that's right. Friends, I'll see you later. I got to get in the shower and go to work. I hope you enjoyed our little coffee hang. Let me know if you want this or that tele, okay? They're going to go fast. That 335 sold literally in 30 seconds. I love it. It's great. These are good guitars, people. You're going to love them. I promise. I wouldn't own it if it was a piece of shit. Okay? I don't fuck around. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.